I asked you to explain,
Sorry.
not yet, okay. And explain the basis for your appeal and introduce any written evidence, and we have some, I know. And after your explanation, the listers will have a chance to respond. And then then and only then the members of the BCA have a chance to ask you questions. After we're finished with the Q&A, I'm going to appoint an inspection committee of 3 members of the BCA, and within the next 30 days, they and you will have a time when you can welcome them to your property, and they will inspect it inside and out and make a report to the full BCA. Marissa is nodding like, she's encouraging me to go in. Then we'll convene an executive session to deliberate and make our decision. We have the authority to sustain the lister's assessment. We can reduce it or we can increase it. And you'll have the right to appeal the decision to either the Vermont State Appraiser or the Superior Court within a month, 30 days after you receive the decision. So I'm going to start the hearing with Mr. Mikulski. He comes first, and there is a quorum. Just to take the roll call of the BCA, so we're on the record.
Linda Sarnioki, Marissa Bolognese,
Brian Gallick.
John Morton.
Katie Fitzpatrick.
Okay, and Wayne Grant.
Kim Seymour.
Okay, thank you. Kim, would you administer the oath to all the BCA members?
Yes. Solemnly swear or affirm that I will well and truly hear and determine all matters at issue between taxpayers and listers submitted for my decision, under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I will.
I will.
Thank you. Mr. Mikulski, I'm sorry, the listers are the first up, and I'm going to ask well, wait a minute. Who's testifying today? Listers, all of you?
Yes, and we also have our assessor,
Okay, good.
Linda, who's
And
with all this.
Mr. Mikulski, I'm going to ask you to take the oath with the listers. I assume you're testifying. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The oath of witness is, you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the cause now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
I do.
I do, Mr. Mikulski, you do? Okay, thank you. The listers are up first, and I'll ask you to describe the property and the reasons why you reached the assessment.
We have handouts.
This is the same thing that says this is that we received.
no, it's
No.
not the list.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is
Their
the,
evidence.
This is the other. Okay.
There.
Thank you.
Just scan it, email it to Paul. Well, I'll scan a copy of what they're handing out and I'll email it to you quickly.
Okay, thank you.
We will admit the lister's evidence as exhibits,
Okay.
but in the meantime, would you please tell us how you reach your assessment?
Okay, so I'm Linda Sherman. I'm the assessor contracted
Paul,
with
can
the
you hear,
town.
can you hear
Can you hear
them?
me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thanks. So you'll see on your handout, just listing the owners, the location, the parcel ID. The original value was 1.108800. The reappraisal value, 1.1900. This is a residential property built around 1820. There is a garage. There's 7.7 acres. The dwelling has 8 rooms, 6 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. During the informal hearings that took place, there were several changes which brought the value to the 1.1. One of those was correcting the year built and something else, maybe, source. So Mr. Mikulski did attend a grievance hearing. The packet I made to save on some paper, I did make a few copies of what he provided on decisions on catastrophe fee. I can't even say that word. Oh, you did get that already? Okay, well, I'm glad I only need does anyone need one to look at?
Linda needs one.
While
She'll get
we're
it.
here?
Oh, no, she has it.
We don't have it in the junk, these are the
Oh, this came in the other day.
Yeah.
exhibits D, E, F, and F, and a bunch of
This
trees.
is what,
Okay. So there are photos in his grievance, his initial grievance appeal. And you'll also see a copy of the property card. I don't know if you're all aware, we converted to a new camera software program this year for the reappraisal. CAMA stands for Computer Assisted Mass Appraisal. So a mass appraisal is different from what we typically might see from a realtor, which is a fee appraisal. Mass is equalizing, which is also for the state, equalizing the town. They can be a little busy to read. We're getting used to them ourselves. So it does break out the building value yard items, which would be anything outside, like a shed, a detached garage. It gives the size of the land and it gives a total value. Under previous assessments, you'll see the current tax year of 2025, and that's the reappraisal number. The sketch and a photo of the property are on the other side. So the concerns, yes, that were taken care of at the informal hearing. The address that had been fixed, the age of the property, the basement being earth, not concrete, and the heating, the circulated hot water system and not hot air is what was previously listed. The did not go into anything about grade or condition. No one was let into this property. The data collector, the listers, myself, we were all denied access. So the one thing that I've tried to point out, the photos that Mr. Mikulski, am I pronouncing his name right, Mikulski? Provided from Hurricane Irene, then July of 23 and December of 23 pointed out damage from water in the basement, the garage areas and outside. What was never provided was current photos of where all that is now. And that's what we primarily based our decision on, was the fact I'm not gonna really try to value a property unless I've seen it inside and out. That's not doing the town much good or the property owner. So, and
So you'll find a copy of the result of grievance notice where we did deny that appeal, and it's still at the 1.19, 100, 900. Then the next page you're gonna see is a sales comparison report. One of the things I'm really liking about this new program is, and especially with a reappraisal, is that, with the town of Weston now being considered equalized, which we haven't done the sales study yet, but the way the values are, I can pull sales right from the town and get comparisons. And it will also give a validity, an average validity rating. And on this particular property, the rating is 62.75, which is, we're looking at 50% being about the middle. So it's higher than average.
Sorry, could you define average validity rating?
So average would mean if we were to take, hard to come up with another word other than average, but a simple property in town, no bells and whistles, very straight lines on the roofs, no dormer kind of things, that I would consider average. And not over landscaped land. That's what I would consider
And so
an
this-
average property.
Thank you. So this property with a rating of 62.75, what does that mean?
So that's meaning from 0 to 100% when we're looking at sales comparisons, we're looking for comparables, and this brings it within the town, that are gonna be equal, if not higher, and a little lower, because we always pick a lower one and a high one. So 62, I would say, is a little higher than middle ground than average.
So
It's a little better,
than an average house
right,
of
than,
this description.
yeah,
Okay.
so,
I have a question, sorry.
Go ahead.
This also is taking into account, like, there were additions that the house went, or improvements made from the flipper, but we don't know if we didn't see it from the original purchase.
right,
Right.
Can I say that these numbers are based on today's values,
Right,
today's
right.
market values.
Right.
We've had many discussions with residential owners who say, way back when I had, it was nothing, and now I built it up, or I haven't done anything. So you look at the condition, see that how modern it is, not in taste, but appliances, et cetera. So it's that way we look at it.
so this, what this does is I can put data in and pick parameters of what I wanna see, and it gives me, like, we asked for 4, gave me 4 comparable properties. That ends up with an adjusted price, and you'll see that in bold along the bottom. And how that compares to our subject, which is the Mikulski property. A free appraisal, they're gonna basically, it kind of baffles me, they're gonna kind of pull a number, if this one, our subject property, I'm trying to see one that is. Trying to find an adjustment that might make. So a building adjustment, if you look at comp 2, And we have included property cards for each comparable. Oops. So this is 122 Bickford Road. So you'll see, let's get a picture of the road. So I can find that, you have that. Oh, I have this, I have more of that. Huh. Okay, so this is quite a different type of property, but when they get to the building, they might say this is superior to the subject, and then they're gonna make reductions. Basically pulling a number out of the hat, maybe 50,000 for a pool or whatever. I don't know that this one has a pool. That's how they do it. Our program does it for us, which is really great. So you can see that that was a sale of 2.4. And it appraised a little less than that. But by the time we're making it to here to our subject, the total adjustments made was 1.1, and that has a rating of 7.2. So that's making it a lot closer than even the average of 6.2. Bringing it to 1.246, which are subject again being 1.1. And you'll see how each one goes along, and there may be like the grade, for instance, the subject's a B minus, and then you go across and you see a C++, which is better than average. A B is good, and A is considered very good. And then B, and then C++. So probably comp 4 would be the closest to our subject.
We're gonna have to wrap this up.
Yeah, no. That's pretty much all I have.
No questions now. Mr. Mikowski, it's your turn.
Well, thank you. First, thank you all for taking this time to hear this. I want to start out just by actually pointing out one thing that in going back carefully over the property card, I noticed, and that is that we actually have one additional bathroom than is listed in the property card. It's a bathroom that almost never gets used, and I just didn't even think about it. So that is just one thing I wanted to point out, just because I think it's the right thing to do, is to make sure this is accurate. As to the appeal, let me just go to I've provided a lot of information, but I'll just go to the elephant in the room, and that is the flooding. And I was really curious to hear from the listers why, when I presented all of this data and evidence of the impact of flooding on market value, which frankly, you don't have to see a house to make that kind of an adjustment. It's just it's the stigma that attaches to a home that has been flooded multiple times. I would guess that none of these comps that they just showed are homes that have been flooded both in Irene and in 2023. So they're really irrelevant comps from that standpoint. It was really disappointing and discouraging to hear the listers say that they won't even assess a house unless they've had the opportunity to walk through it. I have a legal right to say that I don't want someone walking through my house. They have a legal obligation to come up with a fair market value assessment of our home. But what I've just heard is that they are ignoring their legal obligation at the expense of my legal right. And I can only guess it's so they knew, because if I appealed it, that through this appeal, I would have to allow an inspection of our home. And that's just wrong. That's just wrong to manipulate my right to not have the government come through my home, which is my right. And so I don't have a trust in that process right now. So I will just say that if for 25 years, I've been a property owner in places, and I've been through various assessments. And as a matter of principle, just have not permitted representatives of the government into my home. It's just a matter of principle. You can disagree with it. And I won't in this case. And if the Board of Civil Authority believes that that means my appeal is withdrawn, then so be it. But I think that what was done by the listers in basically saying that they would not adjust our property value by even $1, having been flooded 3 times, is just not the way that this process should work. And I don't believe it's consistent with their legal obligation as listers to come up with a fair market value, to not adjust at all for this condition of the house. Thank you.
Is that it, Mr. McCoskey? Are you completed, or did you finish your testimony?
Yeah, yes, I'm done. Thank you.
I've got to advise you, Mr. Mikulski, that under the Vermont statutes, if the property denies access to the property to the Board of Civil Authority, that appeal is deemed withdrawn. So you have a decision to make. Do you want to let the inspection committee in and pursue the appeal, or do you wish to deny access and have your appeal withdrawn?
I wish to deny access, but I would ask the listers to re-examine their position that they will not fairly assess a house unless they can walk through it, is inconsistent with their legal obligations, I believe, as listers.
Mr. Mikulski, that's up to the listers, but I believe the process ends with the appeal to the BCA. And beyond that, if you are adjusted by the BCA and disagree with it, you can go to the state appraiser, or you can go to the Superior Court. But as of now, I don't believe, and I'll let the listers make their decision, they have any reason to readmit your grievance, which is what it would be. The process ends with the BCA or the court. And if you are going to deny access to the inspection committee, I regret to tell you that your appeal will not be considered further.
I understand that. Thank you.
So thank you very much. And I'm sorry we can't accommodate you, but that's what the statute says.
Yes, yes. No, I understand, but I also understand what it says about what the listers should have done. And I hope that they will reconsider their own listing decision. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Is Mr. Musto here?
He has just-
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Mr. Musto, I spent a few minutes before we began by explaining the process. At the risk of being redundant, I'm going to do it one more time.
To save you time, I was on the line as you went through that description, so I'm happy to not have you read through it again if I can save you a little bit of time.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm very good at reading that, so
You did a great job the first time.
thank you. Thank you. So we are recording where you, I don't believe, or did you take the oath?
He would not have taken the oath.
Okay, so Kim, would you? Introduce the oath?
Yes. Mr. Musto, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the evidence you shall give relative to the cause now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
I do.
So we'll begin with the listers as we have in the past. Recent past. So Linda or whoever.
Again, we defer to Linda to pick it up. Linda's our assessor.
And will you be brief?
So Jeff just passed out an email where the points that Mr. Musto had laid out, the grievance was done via a phone call. So the reappraisal value was $980.
I'm sorry, would you start with the description of the property?
Fine, sorry, yes. The property is 4.7 acres with extensive use, is classified as residential 1, which means 6 or less acres. Dwelling is considered a cape, exterior, clapboards. There are 6 rooms, made up of 2 baths, 3 bedrooms, 2,652.9 square feet. The grade is a C++ with above average condition. That collector nor we were had access. There was an adjustment made after the informal hearing, which actually had no change to the value. And again, property card with the photo of the property, the email serving as his grievance notice. Sales comparison. So the average rating on this sales comparison is 77.75. This is even better because they're more closer to the subject. And with our lower value being 92,100 and the higher being
I'm sorry, I'm just having difficulty hearing on the line. If
sorry.
you could repeat that or speak up, thank you.
AC is, so I just really felt after looking at these comparables that we were well within fair market range. And I also supplied property cards for those comparables. And we did have a couple of larger photos, one of the subject property and one of the comparables. I forget which one that is. So again, just addressing the issues that were raised during grievance. Quality of build assumed to be modern again. Materials and whatnot. That's what I have. I mean, I
You have to
can't,
speak up.
I can't really address these because I, again, did not see the inside of this property. So basically, any interior information is assumed.
Mr. Musto, it's your turn. And did you, do we have copies of his
I
exhibit?
do, I have, everything.
We have the appraisal from this studio.
Oh, this is the stuff that was sent to us
Yeah,
earlier.
this is hers.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Musto, I think it's your turn, so fire away.
Great, thank you. Just a question. It sounded like there were changes made to the card, but that didn't impact the value of the home. Is it just possible to share what changes were made?
We have a record of that.
Is that a
What the
question?
changes-
Yeah.
Given his testimony. I don't have access to that right now.
The answer is not now, Mr. Weston.
Okay.
We'll have to move on.
Okay, happy to. Yeah, and I'll just be honest, feel like we're flying a little bit blind because we did sit down with I guess it was the third party assessor, went through some of his logic and rationale. We had shared some information. He seemed to, at that meeting, feel like there was some warranted adjustments. And at this point, we just had heard back that there was no change to the value, and seems we still don't have any real clarity on what, if any, changes were made, whether they impacted the value or not. But with that said, our recollection of the conversation was that there was less hardwood in the house than was originally estimated. There were some floor plan differences relative to what was on the card. But more importantly, there wasn't a recognition of this being the core of the home being a modular home build. So when the core of the house, which represents all the living spaces, including the bedrooms, with the exception of the family room, when that was built, it was modular construction. So very little insulation, low ceilings, very narrow hallway, and like metal, not even wood, what do you call it? Framing, but actual metal sort of framing of the house. And then the addition that was done shortly after the original build was stick built. And that's the portion of the house with the family room that includes the fireplace. So our concern on couple of concerns. One is it didn't feel like the appraisal took into consideration what would be a legitimate buyer's concern or perspective on buying a modular home versus a stick-built home, given the quality of the construction. And when we reached out to a realtor to have an assessment done of the home, and I don't know if I have access to the information that the lister just shared. Sorry. I don't know if I also have access to the information the lister shared on their comparables, but you'll see the comparables that our realtor came up with. And I guess her assessment, knowing having walked the properties, because she's very active in the area, she had put a figure in the low 800s, I believe, on the value of the home. And I guess part of her commentary was, in particular, where the market is now relative to where the market may have been priced in that earlier period, given both volume of sales as well as recency of the pandemic. It's probably highly unrealistic to expect that the home would currently fetch the price at which it was currently appraised, I think the 980. So, listen, we defer to the expertise of you all. I'm not a property appraiser. I've owned a lot of properties through the years. I've had a lot of properties appraised through the years. I would imagine that if the home was being appraised through a comprehensive appraisal process, there'd be material markdown as it relates to the construction and its modular home status, because that's going to affect the buyer's perspective on what they're going to pay for the home. That's really all we had on our end.
Thank you. Listers have any rebuttal or any questions?
So my,
Stand up, please.
my first response would be a modular. I'm gonna value a modular as I would any home. They are stick built, they're just built off-site and brought over. And again, I have not seen the interior of this property. I don't know how much wood flooring or floor plan of the basement. And when I pull comparables, I can look at 3 years. I can also look outside of Weston, which the realtor also did. And I think if we really looked at this side-by-side comparison sheet, I think our value still holds true. And only one of these is in Weston. Oh, wait, that's the subject, sorry. So none of these properties that were used are in Casper Lane on the next page. Okay,
Yeah, she only used 1 year of past listings, so she did not look at 3 years, and obviously 3 years back would have been a very different market than what exists today in the area.
I might disagree with that to a little bit. Anything you want to add?
When you discuss the changes that you talked about with Doug, many of them may not actually filter down into the final. Will adjust, but some of those adjustments will not affect the overall price based on certain parameters that are in our systems,
Mhm.
which are based on many years of data. Come up with the underlying factors, how a property is valued. So some of them may look like they are important in the valuation, when in fact they enhance or subtract maybe not as much as you think. So, it's quite possible that in his viewpoint, he got all the information when he put it in and looked at it. Maybe it didn't have the effect that you would expect.
Like the
But
amount,
that is standard. It is not
Sure.
unusual to you, Dave.
like the amount of wood flooring percent, if that was taken off some, it wouldn't have an overall impact of value. That would be more a quality condition. And that would have to also go against the rest of the features in the home.
I have a question. Did the realtor who did the analysis, did she have access to your property inside?
Yes, yep.
And as you realize, Mr. Musto, the inspection committee will also have to have an interior access. And I assume that's acceptable.
Yeah, well, I guess I would try and save us all time. It doesn't sound like the fact that this is a modular home is going to have any bearing on your assessment. I can tell you the home's beautiful. We've spent a lot of money to make it look nice, and you're not going to come into a home that looks deficient in terms of its quality. But it's a modularly constructed home with low ceilings on a relative basis and much narrower, narrow hallways and very tight. And our realtor, who's walked our home and has spent a lot of time in other homes in this price range, just doesn't feel the home is going to carry that value. But at the end of the day, it's your listers that are going to form a view. And if you're saying the hardwood floor and the construction type is not having a bearing on price, I think we're probably wasting your time to come out.
Well, we have a choice to make, or you have a choice to make. We either pursue the inspection or you withdraw the appeal.
Okay. I mean, is there any factor that would, I just understand your process. Your
Well,
list of,
the inspection committee will visit the property. You may or may not be there, your choice. They will then write a report that reports what they see in the house and in the property. And they will have an opinion about what they saw, but that opinion is not the final conclusion. That report then goes along with the lister's information to the BCA. The BCA then meets in executive session, considers all the evidence, and makes its determination as to fair market value. And that is the BCA decision. That's final, subject to appeal to the court. Does that explain
Well,
what we do?
yeah, it does. Why don't I save, oh, go ahead. There was a question or a hand up?
Well, this is Kim Seymour. I just wanted to clarify that the people who are going to look at your home are current members of the Board of Civil Authority and not the listers themselves. So this is a group of 3 individuals on the board who do an independent view of your property and then come back with a report to the BCA of their take on it. And I think that that's valuable input. So I would just caution you before you say, no, I don't want people in my house. And we'll just call it a day.
Okay. Well, and by the way, it's no concern over people in the house at all. I just don't want to waste the resources of the town and this body to not ultimately to look at something that isn't going to have any bearing. So who comes out and what is their expertise or skill set in?
They are citizens of Weston. They have no particular expertise. They're just people that have volunteered to do their duty and become either justices of the peace or members of the select board. They will go and inspect the property. They have an opinion that they come back with. They will be factual. They will say that the condition is ABC and we saw 2 bathrooms and 6 bedrooms and 5 tennis courts and whatever else is involved.
Yeah,
And
got it.
You got it.
Yeah, I do. Let's save everybody time and money on it. We'll withdraw our appeal and thank the committee for its time.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for withdrawing, I guess. Although it is your choice, and I hope we have not influenced you.
No, I appreciate that. Okay, take care. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Halpern, are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
No.
Barely.
You can barely hear me? Hold on. That's
Yeah.
Hold on. Cause, hold on.
While you're working on that, I'll get you the handouts that they're handing out right now by email real quick.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Oh,
Oops, sorry.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. All right. I won't use my headphones if they're not working.
Okay.
And you're emailing me? Hold on, let me see.
Ken is emailing.
Thank you.
Yes, you'll be getting something.
Okay, great.
So what you're sending to Karen is
Kara.
it Kara?
Kara. Yes, Kara.
Sorry. Is the lister's report.
Yes, I
It
guess.
is.
Well, I'm waiting for it still.
And it's a lot of pages.
I don't have it yet.
Yes.
Are you guys sending it to me? Because I still don't have it.
Kim is scanning it right
Okay.
now.
Sorry.
She has to scan it in, so it'll be a minute.
Fine.
Yeah, that's what I was just doing. I know you'll tell us when you receive the
This is
paper.
an Airbnb.
Yeah, I will. I still don't have it.
It's an Airbnb. I stayed there last year.
Oh, the whole thing's.
I literally, yeah, but I don't hold, there's a family area in the back. I don't know if they live there
I'd
full
like
time.
not to have.
So-
this
Sorry.
It's not necessarily an Airbnb. My sister and I both live there. It's owned by 2 families.
Okay,
We
you're
have
the
listed
most-
it, but it's not, it's owned by 2 families. I have one house and she has the other house, my sister.
Kara, ignore
sorry.
the last conversations, those are out of
Okay.
order.
Thank you.
If it was sent us by USPS.
I'm waiting. I have my email open, so.
They're feeding the horse.
Scanned and sent.
Scanned and sent, and I just need to give you your oath.
There we go. It just came in. Give me 2 seconds. I'd like to review it quickly.
Sure.
Okay.
All
All
set,
right, you want to give me the oath? Yes.
Kim?
Sorry. Okay, Ms. Halpern, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the evidence you shall give relative to the cause now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or under pains and penalties of perjury?
Okay, it's turn again for the listers.
Okay, we defer to Linda, our assessor.
Okay, thank you. So this is the property of Kara and Jamie Halpern, 947 Route 100.
Could you describe where that is, which house that is? Is that the old Sabbath house?
It's the old, it's the Mignon house.
It was the young company house for the young company.
It
used to
was the
stay.
young company house, and wasn't it a ski house for
Yes,
younger?
yes, and it was the Pat and Bob owned it, Mignon owned the house, and then the Blay House used to rent it.
Okay,
All I get is just before Maple Hill.
No, it's on the right hand side.
So this, you can see the values and how those came about. This is considered a colonial style with what's considered an owner's quarter in the quarters in the rear and the back. Was built around 1850, exteriors clapboards, 4,830.2 square feet of finished living area. grade is considered to be average plus. Condition fluctuates from average to good, and I'll point out, I wrote it that way because some of the rooms are average, some fell a little below average, and some were very good based on had been renovated after they purchased. There are two garages, one is extremely small, and the other, which is detached, the other's a 3-bay with a workshop inside. 93,000 discounted off the original reappraisal value. For the depreciation was increased, and adjustment for the upgrades to one of the kitchens. Ms. Halpern did attend a grievance hearing. As a result, the value was lowered based on the large and unusual size
of the house.
of the house, the main numbers.
You're right.
The land, the parcel contains 1.3, 3.1, getting tired. Classified as residential 1, again, 6 acres or less. It is totally flat parcel set back from Route 100. It's in the X6 neighborhood, in the new land schedule, which is because of the proximity to Route 100 and because of traffic.
The X is abbreviation for traffic area, so anything on 100 will definitely be an
Have that
X.
X.
Traffic.
Yes. So the townwide reappraisal increased the values within the town to 67%. And that being said, if we look at the sales comparison, again, the average validity rating was 68.75. And looking at this property within the parameters, that it's within the parameters of fair market according to that sales comparison report. We do have the property card. So the value started at 827,600, currently is 704,900. And then we have their grievance information result. And you'll see the grade on the comparables are similar to the subject, as is the condition. The square feet, obviously, an adjustment needed to be made on the comparables. It was difficult to find comparables for that size property, even outside of Weston. So, and
I can't hear you. You cut out. I don't know what you just said.
I'm mumbling. And the comparable property cards. Left. Why don't you have?
Are you whispering?
That's all that we had.
Okay.
It's really up to Ms. Halpern at this
So-
point to explain your grievance.
Sure. I mean, one thing even the lister said is that she could not really find any comparables. And she's comparing us with single family homes, which is not what our house is or can be compared to. And I think that's an unfair comparison based off, and look, I haven't had a full time to look at the comparisons, but I'm pretty sure that none of them have probably 2 kitchens like ours and are of the same type of home. A single family home is going to sell a lot more than what, you know, our unique property has and our unique property shape. And I can tell you the comparables just by looking at them are not comparable to our home. In fact, probably what would be more comparable is if you look at 1010 Route 100. That would be a more comparable property where it's almost like a triplex. They have 7 bedrooms. But that one is only valued at, let me see what you assessed that one at, about 3, sorry, I can't. You guys assessed that one at 473. Which would actually, that would be a more although in size, it's not necessarily the same size, but the property value, but the property is a very similar property. Similarly, if you looked at 913 Vermont Route 100, which is the old Brandy Myers, their size of their house actual structure is very similar to the structure of our size, and you only valued their property value at $320,000. So it seems like how you're assessing our property is not in line with how it should be assessed based on the comparisons. And then additionally, the number of bedrooms you have for us is incorrect. We've removed 2 bedrooms, which is not accounted for on our property card, as well as if you look at Vermont state law, for it to be considered a legal bedroom, a person has to be able to egress out the window. In our back house, in the back portion of the house, 3 of the bedrooms does not have egress that an individual could fit out, and they are not legal bedrooms. So 3 of those rooms should not be considered bedrooms. And if that's what we're considering under Vermont law is what's a valid bedroom, we would only be a 5-bedroom house, not an 8-bedroom house. And those are really my points on the property assessment.
Thank you very much. Listers, any response to Karen?
Not at the moment. One of the things is the comps.
Yeah.
We have to really take a look at that and see again, but.
I mean, you just sent them to me.
Some of the reasons why the values are different is because of condition.
Well, you have to understand condition. What are you talking about condition? I mean, I painted, our stuff was from Home Depot. Yes, because my sister and I are very good at design, we should not be accounted for that the condition of the property is more expensive than what we paid for it. We did the floors are the original floors that are in there. We buffered them. We took up the carpet. You're not talking about that these are massive renovations that we did to the home. And yes, it looks beautiful and it looks nice, but these are not, this is not $1 million renovation or thousands and thousands of dollar renovation. Like, we did the work. And we should not be penalized. I was the one picking and putting the handles on. And yes, we are good at designing on the cheap. But it looks beautiful. And I don't think that's something that we should be penalized in our condition because it looks nice to the eye.
We're not penalizing your condition. We're talking about comparables.
Yeah, but it's not comparable to those. You can't do a good condition single family home. It's not comparable to a home that is a duplex and has the unique shape that we have. They're not comparable. It's essentially a duplex we have, and that would have a very unique buyer. Even when in 2020, if you look at which I provided to you guys, if I provided you with our 2021 assessment, and if you look at even how our house sold in 2021, in the height of COVID, when houses were flying off the market, our house sold below the list price. And that should be telling that there's not the fair market value of this home cannot be compared with other homes that are like size, but, and don't have the same layout.
So when it sold back then?
Yep.
Had you done all your painting and fixing up?
When it was sold back then, did we do our painting? We did the paint, we painted it after. What portion, hold on, wait, portions of it when
Just
it
want
was.
to make sure that it
Hold
it
on,
was in
there,
it wasn't
I'm
a
gonna-
different condition.
let me just tell, only slightly was in a different condition, actually. Most of the house, because I think the back portion in the back kitchen was done and renovated when we moved in, before we, that was done before. We only renovated the bottom portion of the front house. Everything else was in the same condition, other than us painting.
Just wanted to clarify.
So
So-
you didn't heat this house?
No, not all we did was paint this house. We renovated the bottom portion
Were you,
Of the
were you
whole-
denied access to
of
the
the
house?
front part of the house.
Let's stick, please.
So the
Let's stick
bottom
to-
portion of the front part of the house was renovated. We removed 2 bedrooms and we upgraded the kitchen.
And did the listers have access to the interior?
Yes,
Oh, and they did a full inspection.
yes.
Thank you, that's very
I
helpful.
made sure of that.
A reappraisal company did.
Well,
We
on your
We
behalf,
approved.
okay.
Well, whoever was allowed, yeah, you guys, whoever was allowed it, we let the appraisal company, whoever
Right.
you guys told us that we would have to let in, we let them in.
Okay, just for clarification, that's all.
Are there
Yeah.
questions from members of the BCA for either the listers or Ms. Halpern? I have a question, Ms. Halpern, what's the current use of the property?
So my sister and I use it and sometimes we rent it out to offset our costs.
So it's rented out? Okay, thank you.
Sometimes, not all the time. So for the most part, we use it. And
Okay.
once in a while, we rent it out to offset our costs, but that should not have to do anything with the fair assessment of the whole property.
Thank you. Any other questions from the BCA?
Did the listers feel after hearing? you
Listers
say
are
this?
done.
That's it. They're done.
Well, thank you. The hearing is now concluded, and I'm going to report 3 lucky volunteers to be the inspection committee.
Did she agree to it?
I'm sorry?
Did she agree to the?
Do a new inspection.
Do an inspection?
Well, I assume that you are going to allow the inspection. Karen,
Karen.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Yes,
the inspection committee will be asking to access the outside and the inside of your property.
understood. We did that previously. I have no issues.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
That's a yes. We got one.
Yes. I said yes 3 times.
all right, we heard it the
It
third
was
time.
cutting out.
Okay, are there volunteers? 3
I'll go.
members. Linda's one, Brian is another. Who's the third? Katie? Okay, we have a committee. The next thing for you folks to do is decide who's the chair of the committee. I'm looking at Brian.
I would like to nominate Brian.
I will happily be the chair.
So Brian is going to be in contact with you, Karen, to arrange a time when they can access the house. You could be there or not.
I'm gonna need some accommodation just because I'm going through IVF right now and I can't necessarily be up there. So if you guys can allow for some accommodation based off of my schedule, that would be really appreciated. So it might just take a little bit of time for me to get up there.
Yeah, it has to be within the next 30 days. It has to be by
Again,
September.
I'm gonna ask for a like medical accommodation only because I'm going through a very sensitive time in my life that I can't necessarily get up there.
I'm sorry, Karen, about that issue, but we can't change the statute.
That's fine. I may not,
Could your sister be there?
but potentially, I don't know. I'm usually the one who's able to be up there because I have more. She is a kid and it's like. it's just-
I understand that you, Kara, I understand
Let
that
me
you.
see if I can work it. Let me see if I can work it out. And I'm just asking for like a reasonable accommodation based off of my dates within the next 30 days.
Yep, that's.
That's all I'm saying. That it has to be based off of my time that I can come up there.
So Kara, you understand that it doesn't have to be you, it could be your representative, it doesn't have to be anybody.
I
The
would,
inspectors could
understood,
go
I would like to be up, I would like to be up there to
Okay.
make sure that I walk you guys through the property and so that there's a valid understanding of, kind of what we did and the changes we made and the renovations we had to do.
And just one caution, if I may, that
Yeah.
there's no, during the inspection, it is not a time to present further testimony. You really are going to be there kind of silently just walking them through the house because the testimony needs to be in this forum and not.
And under oath.
So,
Okay,
so then
under
can I add to some of the testimony here of like, as to what was done to the house? So at least I
No.
can update that. Did you say no?
I said no.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify as to like the renovations made to the home, since I wouldn't be able to clarify them.
So I
Well,
understand what you'd like to do. I'm sorry that we are bound by the statute and by the oath of the witness. So your testimony, which is what that would be.
No,
has to
I'm
be-
giving, I want to say it now, not
Oh, no,
so
sure.
under oath now. That's what I'm saying. I want
Oh,
to
sure.
discuss it now under oath so that when you walk through, there's that understanding.
Oh, that's perfectly acceptable. Go right
That's
ahead.
what I thought. Okay. So I did want to discuss like what we did to the home, and we renovated the first floor of the home. And we removed 2 of the bedrooms, we upgraded the kitchen, and we did have someone put in and, upgrade the bathroom that was originally there. And then we had to, from a safety issue, we had to redo the stairs. Because there was a safety issue of them being very old and falling apart. And when you redo them, you obviously have to bring them up to code. Other than that, everything else in the house was done by us. And it was painting, design, and just restoring of the original wood floors that were in the home from the 1850s. And then there was no renovations done by us whatsoever in the back portion of the house. Any renovations that were made, the upgrades to the kitchen, was prior to us buying it in 2021. So that's all I wanted to add so that you had an understanding of the renovations that were made. But it appears based off of it, it really would coincide with the bedrooms in the back house do not actually have egress, whereby a human could fit out them to make them a legal bedroom under Vermont law.
Thank you very much. That was very helpful.
That's all I wanted to add.
All right, then, Brian, you'll have to exchange information with Karen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll be in contact and we'll exchange info.
Okay, great. Yeah, and we'll set it up. I will, it would probably have to be, let me just see. It would have to probably be the beginning of September, most likely. So we will probably be running up against the end of the 30 days. So it might actually probably have to be like September 11th or 12th.
Can't be the
Most likely
12th.
it's looking at. Why? That's it's 31. Okay, so the 11th it would probably have to be.
And that'll mean that is a very short time frame for the report.
So in the 30 days, we have to give our report. and turn it back. Yeah. There's
Sorry-
no way we can
sorry
do
about that.
sooner
It just-
Because we'll need the time to do the report, so. All right, we'll talk.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you,
All right.
guys.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you. Unless there's further business, and I don't know of any, I'm gonna call this meeting adjourned.
So were the others were withdrawn?
Yes.
Danny,
Okay.
At 7:11.
And look at the others, did Danny
Yes,
too?
I'm going to stop. What?
Turn off, say goodbye.
Okay.
Can I jump off?
This is open here. This is
Oh,
open.
okay, all right,
All right, bye. All right, thank you.
okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are we
Okay, that's fine.
adjourned?
We are, and there's no further conversation.
And there's no further conversation. Got it.
Thank you, Wayne.